Hello, Melissa.
Hi there. Thanks. Great. Good to see you.
You too. Always good to see you. I follow you on social media, and it's just amazing. You're an amazing mom. You're still training. I gave an introduction about you before we got on the broadcast, but losing your leg in 2004 in Iraq. The one thing I read that just really impacted me, you had that thought process. Well, I have three other limbs, so I need to keep moving forward. I mean, that's your attitude every day, isn't it?
I try for it to be. I feel like I've been very lucky where, like you said, I only lost one leg. It could have been so much worse. And, even now, like everything going on around us, it just helps me feel I just feel very lucky to be alive every morning.
And you were the first woman in combat to lose a limb. And I know you don't like labels and things like that, but you have to be able to inspire so many other men and women that are in your type of situation.
I do what I do every day because I love it and I truly enjoy it. And if part of what I do inspires others, or maybe someone sees my story, or crossing a finish line and they're like, oh wow, if she can do it, well then I can do it too. Then that's just kind of the cherry on top of all of it. So yeah, I never set out to do what I do to inspire others, but if that happens along the way, then that's pretty great.
And being the recipient of a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star, and then getting yourself into the Paralympics. And in Beijing, it didn't work out. You didn't medal, but you did qualify. And then tell us about that road to that para triathlon bronze medal.
So after 2008 in Beijing, I swam. So I turned to the sport of triathlon in 2009. Thanks to, I started triathlon with the Challenge Athletes Foundation out of California, and kind of fell in love with it right away. Being on the same course as able-bodied athletes, crossing the same finish line, and was able to be part of the para triathlon national team for many years, competing all over the world. And then when para triathlon was announced that it was going to be a Paralympic sport in 2016, that was obviously the new goal, the new thing I wanted to try to accomplish. So yeah, thankfully I had a great support system. My husband jumped on board with it. We had a quick kid along the way, but to be able to kind of come back to that peak athletic state, qualify for Rio, swim, bike, and run down the streets of Copacabana Beach. The date was September 11th. I had a USA uniform. I got a bronze medal. It felt like a personal gold. It was a USA sweep, gold, silver, bronze, 3 USA flags, our national anthem. Talk about one of the greatest moments of my life. It was incredible.
And I just love how you decorated your prosthetic with the American flag on it. And when I had the honor of bringing you across the finish line at Ironman Arizona in 2013, there it was. I had known you and read about you prior, but the impact of that day was very, very powerful. What was that like for you?
That was another moment. So, these Paralympic events are all sprint distance triathlon, and that's what I had been doing, but to step it up a bunch of notches to that Ironman distance. I think the Ironman distance is something that it's almost like a rite of passage. Like, so you tell someone that you're a triathlete and they immediately ask you, are you an Ironman? So it was always on the bucket list. And getting out to Arizona in 2013, it wasn't just the physical challenge that I was used to. It was 10 times that, but the mental challenge as well. And being on mile 20 of that run and wondering what on earth I'm doing out there. And, every step hurts, and realizing that I'm out there because I can be out there, and I'm running because I can. And getting to that finish line, the roar of the crowd, helped me kind of feel like I was floating, having that American flag over my head, having you say that I was now an Ironman. It's another one of those moments that, it kind of sticks with you, just the magnitude of it.
Well, Melissa, it's a moment I'll never forget. And, then shortly after that, you have a baby boy, Dallas, correct, in 2014. And
Yep.
then Millie comes along a little. So now, keeping the training up, and I know you had a goal of racing in Tokyo in 2020. Obviously, that's been curtailed. What's your plans moving forward with that?
I mean, the goal is still the same. So, Tokyo 2021, right now it seems like it's an eternity away, but the years go fast. So I know it'll be here before we know it. And, there was a brief thought of, do I still want to do this for a whole nother year? I have 2 young kids. They're going to start having their own sports and their own things going on. We have a business that we just opened. So the thought of another year was a brief moment of, do I want to still do this? But it was overcome with the thought of taking it this far. I want to see a dream through to completion. So still training every day. Obviously, the pool is kind of the missing factor right now, but I bike, I run, I do some strength and swim cords. And hopefully when we're back out there racing, I'll be, maybe I'll be stronger than ever. And hopefully, it'd be great to have a repeat on that podium again in Tokyo next year.
Well, Melissa, you're an inspiration to so many, and you have the organization Try to Dare, and tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Dare to Try, it's an organization.
I'm sorry, Dare to Try. Okay. I knew I got that wrong when I said
it. So 2 friends and I co-founded it with 2 friends based out of Chicago. We get athletes with physical disabilities into the sport of triathlon, and started in 2011, and it has just grown exponentially. Bigger than we ever could have imagined. And we serve athletes with physical disabilities all over the nation, grassroots, all the way up to the Paralympic level, providing equipment, coaching, year-round programming, really whatever it takes to get somebody to that starting line of a triathlon, just because all of us know firsthand just the power behind it, and getting to that finish line and just realizing the self-confidence, the self-worth. As someone with a disability, it kind of shows how much ability you still have. So our motto is one inspires many, and our athletes really inspire everyone on the race course.
Well, it's as tough as it is, it's still a healing, and I'm sure you realize that. What kind of advice, Melissa, would you give to all your brothers and military brothers and sisters that are in your situation now and maybe can't pull themselves out of it and are finding a very tough way?
It's easier said than done. I think what I've learned along the way is that, we all have a choice on how we deal with things. So including right now, the pandemic that we're in, when obstacles come our way, we have a choice on how we deal with them. And I think it's really easy to look at the negative sides of all of it. But I like to turn it around. And for any negative thought that I have, I try to have 2 positive thoughts. At the end of the day, instead of thinking about things that went wrong during the day, you think about all the things that went right and went good. And eventually that positivity kind of takes over, and you have, you kind of choose that positivity instead of those negative thoughts. And also, just surrounding yourself with people that love you, that want you to improve, that want you to get out there and do and be active again. And I'll be the first to tell you that, you lay there and you don't think that you can, but you go try. Try, no pun intended. And you can do things you don't think you can do. So get up, go try them, bring a friend, and, hopefully before long, you'll be back living a life that you never imagined. A lot of times we can end up even better on the other side.
Well, Melissa, great words of encouragement, and I know they're probably not falling on deaf ears, because what you've done and what you've accomplished has been absolutely amazing. It's fun. It's great following you. And is there an Ironman in your future? Another one?
Of course, yes, I think so. Obviously, Tokyo 2021 is going to be priority. But yeah, I was so close to the 15-hour time mark. I think I got to go back and get under that mark. So yes, there will be another Ironman at some point for sure.
Well, that was only like 6. You went like 15:06. So you'll be below 15. You could do that.
It was those last couple miles that got me, but I'll be better prepared this time. I'll be good.
Well, Melissa, the best of luck to you on your journey and your training for Tokyo 2021. We'd love to see you on the podium. I'd love to see you on the podium on the top spot, number 1, maybe, get that gold medal.
Hey, we're all working for that. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for being on, and hopefully we'll see you racing that VR7 series this weekend.
Will do. Thanks so much. Great to see you.
You too. Aloha.